What's up, everybody? Welcome to Nerds in Suits Live. It's Monday night. I'm here. It's good to see you guys. Thank you for being patient. I know it's a slightly late start, but you know what? I had some stuff I had to take care of today, and here we are. So I'm happy to see you guys, or at least the eye of the camera while you guys are here. Great group in here hanging out. Looks like about 30 of you guys here as we get started, which is really, really nice. I would like some eggs, Jeff. That sounds delicious and wonderful. We've got Alterman in here. I see Phoenix. I see Alan Smithy. Kelly's in here. I got Matt and Caleb. Hey, Little Warrior, big salute because you guys are obviously generals over in Action Army. But also, I'll give you the hair tussle. That's what we do over here on Nerds in Suits. So thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate it. Nice to see you, John, Will, Jose, Carly, Nikki, Wingblade. Good crew. William Harold, Tyler. So, yeah, guys, it's Monday night, and I have some fun stuff to talk to you about today. This show, this whole kind of week has been a little bit all over the place, trying to get my head in a productive place. It's kind of crazy when you are trying to deal with consistent pain, which is where that's the point I'm at currently, which is I'm in this sort of interim as I'm trying to figure out what's going on next. It's very distracting. And so you have to kind of continue to refocus yourself so you can make sure you're putting time and energy into things that you know when the pain is gone, you will be happy that you did. Because it's very easy to just kind of get sucked into you just lay down and watch a movie, or it's just very easy to sort of zone out, I guess is the point. And so I have been making an effort this last week to not do that. My mom was here for 3 days, which was really nice. I got to see her. We went to some wonderful meals, went for some really nice walks. She admitted that she definitely understood why I love Santa Monica so much and what is so great about the area. Because, my mom, Northwesterner, she sometimes has her opinions of Los Angeles. It was great to see her. It was super fun. We got to go out to dinner with Andrew and his girlfriend. We all went out to a dinner together. It was awesome. My mom was generous. She took us out. But it was just a great time. We watched Catch Me If You Can. My mom had never seen that one before. So I recommended that. I told her that it was one of the most fun movies to watch. It's just one of the most fun movies I can think of to watch. And she absolutely loved it, which was great. We had a great time watching that one together. And now I took her home and here we are on Monday. So there's a bunch of stuff that I want to talk to you guys about. Obviously, the title of the episode references the fact that my very first teams match is coming up this week. This season, Dan and our team Danger Zone plays our first match this coming Friday against a team called the Midterms. So that's going to be Jonathan Harris and it's the brother of Lon Harris, and of course Eric Zipper. And so that should be a very, very interesting first match. The other half of the team's tournament, the other side of the bracket, has now already aired over on SEN. So you guys can go check that out. Obviously you've got the matchups that have already happened of the Outsiders going up against Lightning Time. And then, of course, you've also got the other matchup that's happened of Rushmore versus the Press Room. And those were both interesting matches. We talked about those quite a bit over on the Action Guys last night. But over here tonight, what we are going to be talking about is of course, this week's matchups, where you're going to have Danger Zone going up against the Midterms. And then prior to that, you're going to have Deception going up against Blackjack. So it's kind of a mini tournament, as we lead into the middle of the year. This is not the technical Ultimate Schmoedown Teams tournament. The finals of this tournament will be a 3-rounder as confirmed on the schmoedownlive.com. So, this is just an early showcase of some of the interesting teams in the early part of the year. However, the team that wins this will then have to play against Corruption, which will then in turn be a number one contender to challenge for the belt. So that any team playing in this tournament is going to have to win 5 in a row to get the title, which is pretty standard. 5 in a row is kind of the expectation. So, Dan and I are excited about this match. We feel good about it. A lot of you guys that have been in the study sessions with us every single week. Dan has been in there in a lot of them with us. You guys kind of know the work that we've been doing as we've been getting ready to play matches. And it all comes down to this first match of the season for the two of us to kind of see how we do. So I'm definitely feeling really good about it. I'm so appreciative of all the hard work that we've done in those study sessions. I mean, that's the one thing that I think is really unique. Megs and I were going back and forth about this on Patreon earlier, just sort of talking about, she was saying, even though she knew the outcome, when she was watching it back for the stats, there were still moments where she was like getting worried for me. And I think, understandably so. There are a whole bunch of questions that came up in that free for all that are classically in categories that are not my best. And some of those polls that I got in those classic categories are reasons that I was able to continue to stay in and get so far into that thing. I think most of you probably watching were pretty convinced that I wasn't going to know who the Dad in the Parent Trap was. And I would imagine a lot of you guys watching didn't think I would have been able to pull Homeward Bound off of the remake of Incredible Journey. And some of those are, we've just done some work. So in any case, the study sessions are a great time. You guys who are a part of that crew. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you are a patron, patreon.com/nerdsandsuits, you are entitled to be a part of these study sessions. They're 90 minutes once a week. And sometimes Dan is there. Sometimes he's not. Sometimes it's just me and you guys. And that's kind of a thing that we do. So many of you that are in here write those questions. So if you're at the platinum level, you get that link sent out every single Wednesday. You can jump in, hang out with us. And if you're at the diamond level, which is one level above that, then actually once a month, I go head to head in a 5-round match against one of you guys. And that's always a super good time. So the next one of those is coming up in a couple weeks. So if you've considered upgrading for any reason, it's one of the best reasons to upgrade. So other stuff that's going on that I want to talk to you guys about. Let me think here. I do want to pull open Streamlabs here because I just got a notification and I want to make sure I don't miss anything while we're doing the show and getting kind of warmed up here. What else I want to talk about with you guys? So one of the other cool things that we get to do on Nerds and Suits here is I get to talk to you guys a little bit about the music stuff that I do. My energy and my focus has been sort of pulled in multiple directions here. But one thing that I am continuing to focus really hard on is pushing forward the agenda to get this album done. And of course, to get the next song out there. And the song Late Night Love Song, I have a mix that I really like. I think it's sounding pretty damn good. So now I'm putting together a plan to get like a lyric video like last time. I still want to film a music video. There are certain things right now that I only have so much capacity at the moment while I'm doing so many doctor's visits and physical therapy sessions. I saw a chiropractor over the weekend for the first time. I'd never done that before. Got adjusted. I don't know if any of you guys have ever had a chiropractor, but they knock you around and you hear all the joints and bones cracking and popping. So that was interesting. But the song, I am still pushing to get the song out here in just a few weeks, which I'm definitely excited about. And then continuing to push that ball forward on that album so I can release it this summer as I get ready for this tour. A couple other things that come to mind. This is one that I was thinking about this a lot, and I wanted to talk to you guys about this one. So I have a meeting tomorrow for a potential cool opportunity coming up, and it's an on-camera thing. And it's been a year, and we're in May now, so it's been 14 months or something like that since I have gone to an in-person production meeting, like anything like that. I haven't gone in to film something at the Schmodown studio at Skybound. I haven't met with an agent. I haven't gone to any auditions. Everything I've done has been digital, or it's been in my home, or it's been in my home, like with Drew, for instance, recently. But I haven't had like essentially a meeting. And this particular meeting, this particular opportunity that came up, sort of came a little bit out of nowhere. And it was based kind of on my like my reel, which a lot of you guys have probably seen my reel, I would think. In fact, this seems like a fun thing to do because maybe some of you guys haven't seen it. I haven't edited a new reel in a long time. Let's see here. But in the days when I was, hustling all the time, I definitely had a reel, and it was like very much a thing that I put time and energy into. And so this opportunity that I got is based on the reel. That's where it came from. And so let's screen share so we can remember when I was much thinner. So this is out there, and people can still find this because still if I have to submit for a job, this is what I would use. Tell me if you guys can hear this. There we go. We are here in Hollywood on a beautiful Monday night. Ben Bateman here for Audience Sports, hanging out at Dodger Stadium. Not covering baseball tonight. We are covering ping pong. I've been waiting for years to talk to you about ping pong.
Yes.
Yeah. About ping pong. In the films that have been released, you've been in since 2016, your co-stars have a total of 19 Oscar nominations.
Bowling!
In the last 2 years, can you tell me what's the best lesson you've learned from a co-star working on a film?
First of all, great question.
This is crazy that this movie could be made and be the hit that it was. It's the most remarkable success that Marvel's ever going to have. Here with Gerard Butler, a man that is Special Forces, Ranger Battalion. He will move mountains or die trying. Trust me, I know this guy. Crazy thing is, take down Shaquille O'Neal in a game of ping pong. I don't have this reel anymore.
Theoretically,
it was on the computer. It got stolen a few years ago.
In the second episode, when he goes to see Jason Street and he's in the hospital bed and he's like, "I'm sorry I let you down, coach." And he's like, "Son, you didn't let me down. You were make guys like me want to coach." And he's like, "You are a good man." God, it gets me every time.
How you doing, man? I love to see you on Black Hollywood Live.
Dude, I love to see me on Black Hollywood Live too, you know?
That's right, man. Fight the power.
Cole Sprouse, I used to sell comic books to you and your brother at Meltdown Comics.
That's why you look so
I had the long hair, remember?
That's why you look so familiar.
So what if they came to me, they were like, "We want to do 2 more seasons of Raymond. We're going to do it right now. Would you be in? Would you do it?" You are a stylish gentleman, sir, I have to say.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to take after you.
Whoa! I'm wearing a Seahawks pocket sweater. If you guys didn't know that, he just tucked it back in.
Ben Bateman here from Machinima's Inside Esports at Grand Prix Los Angeles. How's your life changed since you've become like a legitimate Magic pro?
Ned Flanders epitomizes cheesy. Every single catchphrase that he has in the history of the show rhymes.
Any chance you can complete this
Oh,
line
this was
for
a good
me?
one.
You know nothing. You know less than nothing. In fact,
if you even knew that you knew nothing, that'd be something, but you don't.
amazing. You just made my life. How does it feel to be the most popular cast member on Better Call Saul?
I am not. I'm not. He is.
Who's the most popular cast?
What are you talking about?
Had Batman been born and based in Los Angeles, how do you think the character would have looked?
Let's hit Starbucks on our way to Runyon Canyon.
We've got an Oscar win, Oscar, Tony, Golden Globe, and Emmy nominations, and a prime role in the highest grossing film of all time. What's next? What's left? So I used to send this reel out, trying to get jobs and stuff. Yeah, it was like a thing. It took me, years to build it, obviously, because it tons and tons of opportunities, and a lot of those opportunities were non-paid. That's just kind of how it works. But yeah, it was years and years of hustling for all these things. And there's shitloads of clips and memories and experiences that I recall that honestly aren't even on the reel. But so what's funny about that is I didn't have a hosting agent for a long time, and I was doing a lot of the hustle in the hosting world. And over the last several years, as my sort of life just like grew, I guess, and other cool things happened and opportunities kind of happened. I didn't update it. There are other things that have happened. There's lots of other things that have happened since I cut that reel. But in the end, that reel, it was a wonderful, it was a wonderful kind of calling card early on as a host. And I got to know various people, and my agent, basically signed me from that reel. So anyway, the point is I have this meeting tomorrow for something that's on camera, and it came from that reel. So here's the thing, guys. I'm going to go into this meeting tomorrow knowing that I don't look entirely the same as I look on the reel. I look about the same. There are some definitely areas that I think I'll be fine. I sound about the same. I have pretty similar energy. In fact, I have the exact same energy. But I'm going to have to go into this meeting knowing that I have to just like own the age and size that I am today, which is just the truth. And it got me thinking a lot about this because we're coming out of pandemic, and I don't think I'm in that different of a position than a lot of people. I think so many people had something similar happen. I think, number one, we're just not used to being around people in office settings, just being in person with people. That's just not something we're used to anymore. Number two, I know a lot of people gained weight during pandemic. Like a lot of people just are not in the shape that they wanted to, that they want to be in. I'm certainly not, And I was thinking about it, and I was trying to figure out, how am I going to present myself? I mean, this is another thing, guys. This is why I bring this all up, because it's all about self-examination. I did a thing for years where I wore a suit 100% of the time. You guys can see it in a lot of that reel. I'm wearing a suit in almost every clip. I have a fucking channel you're watching called Nerds in Suits. I mean, this was my personality for the longest time. It was hosting stuff. It was always a suit. I went to pool parties in suits. I mean, I wore a suit literally all the time, everywhere. Anything. I don't really like, I haven't worn a suit in over a year hardly. I've worn them for a couple Schmodown matches. Even Schmodown matches, often I'm wearing shorts on the bottom, with like a t-shirt and a suit jacket. So it's just such a different vibe. Like this is going to be the first time in the post-pandemic world I've gone in for a meeting somewhere. And so, and the bottom line is, this is not just entertainment. When we start going out and meeting with people again with the toy company, with Kess, the same thing's going to happen. I'm going to have to figure out how to dress myself and present myself in such a way to like achieve that kind of confidence and that really, that carefree energy that you want to have. That's what you want to have when you walk in the room. You want to be carefree. You want to be cool. You want to be collected. And so I guess I wanted to bring it up with you guys because, I had this conversation with Drew about it, and I was thinking, and it's like, all I really have to offer is the same thing that I had to offer back then. It's the same guy. It's the same thing. It's the same confidence. It is the same energy, but it's trying to figure out how to harness it and where to put your energy. What do you want to talk about? And all these things. It's just a funny place to be. Especially the other thing too, guys, and this is where it gets really wonky, is that, I had this back surgery in 2019 in October, and I only really started recovering, like right around like Spectacular, like December. Like I was just starting to get better. And then we were in pandemic like 10 weeks later. So really there was a stretch of time where I wasn't going out anyway. So it's been, for me, going on 2 years pretty soon since I've really consistently been going out there. There was a short period of time in the post-surgery where like I kind of was starting to wear suits again. But yeah, so this is a really kind of unique experience tomorrow. And it's one that is reminding me just a little bit about those feelings, those jitters you kind of get. And then the other thing too, I think that's crazy, is watching back that reel. I was just reminded of like how much fun I used to have doing that stuff. There are so many memories and stories that I can tell from that time in my life, which is probably when I really when I really started doing hosting. Like I got serious about it. It was like 2015, probably. Like I did a lot of that stuff as 2015. So like 2015, 16, 17 is when most of those clips are from. It's anywhere between 3 and 6 years ago. Some of it's probably from 2018 because I think I cut that reel in 2018. And, we got to do some really, really fun stuff in 2018. Also 2019, even. I mean, we did the Angel Has Fallen premiere as Action Industries in 2019. We got that incredible Jerry B clip. There's some really fun Danny Houston stuff that I have from that. There's other junkets that I got to do after that I think are pretty fun. I remember talking to Dennis Haysbert a little bit about what the hell was it? I got to ask him about Heat because it's one of my favorite movies. So I've gotten to have tons and tons and tons of great memories in over the years doing that stuff. But watching back that reel, it's such a reminder that there was like a period of my life where that my whole identity was wrapped up in this one thing. It was just being an entertainment host. It was doing interviews. And my life has expanded so much now. I put energy into so many different places. Most recently into a lot of music stuff. Schmodown is this really serious thing now that I'm totally invested in. Prior to the pandemic, I was screening every movie. I was reviewing everything on YouTube, on Twitter. The Magic the Gathering podcast. There's just things just really grew. And so trying to sort of refocus that energy back to walking into a meeting as I'm a host and like I can go directly to camera and I have great presentation. It's just a funny place to be. It's like a blast from the past because I do hosting all the time. I mean, what am I doing here? I'm just talking to you guys directly. I think about this stuff all the time, but it used to be the only thing I thought about. I used to literally just think about hosting only. So anyway, guys, I wanted to bring it up because I have to think that a lot of you guys are probably in situations where you imagine you're going to be going back into a physical office. How are you going to dress? Are the same clothes still going to fit you? Do you still want to dress the same way? What if you weigh more? Like I put on some pounds during quarantine. What do you do? Do you buy new clothes? Where are you going with this? How are you, approaching it? So, I thought it was an interesting thing to bring up just because I have a feeling there's more persons than me. There are more people than just myself thinking about this and dealing with the same thing. So Anyway, there is Kelly here says, this is time to find the next you, Ben. You're still the same person, just a different coat of paint. I appreciate that, Kelly. Yeah, look, I feel extremely fortunate to have the support that I have in my career. I feel extremely fortunate to have supporters, fans, friends, whatever we want to call the people that I get to, hang out with all the time. And yeah, and I think the world is opening back up. So we're all just going to be kind of reminded again that this is kind of how it works. Things come out of nowhere. They're unexpected. You're not always ready for everything in the same way that you thought you were, and you got to adapt. So I'm really excited for this opportunity tomorrow to go in and have this meeting and just sort of see how things go. All right, guys, let's talk turkey here. I got the first Streamlab of the night from my guy, K Wolf. Big salute to you, Kyle. I appreciate this. So I don't know who that guy who sent in that super chat at the end of the Action Guys last night. My account must have been hacked. But seriously, very proud of Drew and you doing what you love. Thanks, Kyle. I really appreciate that, man. I'm so proud of Drew. He booked he booked a movie, and he's gonna be flying out to go shoot that movie this end of the summer, which is really exciting. So we were talking about that a lot last night on Action Guys and celebrating him. Kyle, thanks for that. So yeah, what else is going on that I wanted to talk to you guys about? Let's think about it. I have a song I started writing that I am extremely excited about. I started working on it. I've been working on it. You guys have heard me mess around with the riff, but I have a really clear idea of what I want to do with it. So maybe in the next studio diary, you guys will kind of get to hear what I'm doing with that, which I'm pretty stoked on. Yeah, what else is going on? So because Drew has this movie coming up that he booked, he and I talked last night about kind of wanting to, we talked about wanting to, kind of both drop some pounds, get much better shape as we kind of gear up to go back out in the world. And so we kind of came up with a plan together. We're both kind of focusing on that, which we're pretty excited about. We checked in this morning on it. The funny thing is about it is like, it's all about mentally. You have to click the switch, which is like, whatever the tools that I have available to me to get in shape, I'm going to use. I've done them in the past, and then sometimes they're more important and sometimes they're less important. So yeah, that's anyway, we started to get back on that whole train again. But the thing with Drew and I, we're going to be kind of checking in with each other, which I'm excited about. And I'm obviously extremely proud of him and very excited for what he's got going on at the end of the summer. Yeah. What else did I want to talk to you guys about? I had something else big. Oh yeah. I know what I wanted to talk to you guys about. This is awesome. I got a new computer. I don't have it yet. It won't ship until the end of the, it won't ship until the end of the month, till the end of May. But it's very exciting. I ordered the new Mac, the new iMac, the new actual desktop iMac. I've been talking to you guys about this, needing to get a new computer for a while. This is something that I needed to do to be able to stream in HD. The processing power of this old laptop was starting to seriously lag. When I tried to run it through OBS and make the whole thing HD, you guys remember that stream? That was such a frustrating stream. So we've been using just direct to camera, HD StreamYard, which is fine, but this new computer should be able to do everything, which I'm so excited about. So I decided it was a work cost. It is what it is. Computers are expensive, but it was necessary. It was a necessary thing to do. And yeah, so I ordered that, guys. It's going to be showing up at the end of the month, and I should be able to stream in HD on here. I should be able to. I ordered it, and I had them install Logic, which is it's like a music producing software that I used to use. So it's going to come fully installed with Logic Pro, which means I'm going to be able to start producing my own demos here. I think probably at decent quality. I think I won't be able to record an album myself, at least not one that I think is going to sound the way that I want it to, but I will be able to produce proper demos that actually sound good, that I'll be able to show you guys in studio diaries, and I'll be able to kind of give you guys previews now as I'm working on new music that will actually sound pretty good. So that's really exciting. I can't wait. I can't wait for that to be able to do that. So thank you all. One of the biggest reasons that I was able to order this computer is that you guys were so supportive over the last several months as I've been talking about it. And then also when I played my show last month, I was able to sell enough tickets, and you guys were so generous in supporting that I was able to put that towards the computer. And then I may end up selling this laptop and whatever I can get for it to put this towards the price of the computer as well. I'm not totally sure. I may want to just hold on to a laptop so I have a travel computer as well. But computers are expensive, so I may have to just sell the laptop anyway. But it was definitely one of those decisions that I was like, should I do this? Can I do this? And then it was like, you know what? This is something I got to just do. I know I want this to be as professional as possible. I want this to be bigger and better. And if you want to do that, you got to pay for being a professional, which is what I'm trying to do. So thank you guys for supporting and helping me do that. Ryan here with the super chat. Thanks for showing us the reel. So cool to see the energy you brought, and we'll bring again to hosting. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, man, it was definitely a fun time in my life when I was accumulating all that footage. And yeah, I got to do a lot of cool stuff. So another really cool thing that happened in this last week that I'm really excited about, actually. Oh, you know what? We just got a Streamlab from Claire. A big salute to you, Claire. She's in the chat. May the 4th be with you tomorrow, says Claire. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that, Claire. It's a generous donation. We can talk a little Star Wars. I want to talk a little Marvel with you guys, a little Star Wars. There's a bunch of stuff I want to talk about. But one of the things that was just extremely exciting for me, I got my first solicitation from a studio today to screen a movie in a theater. Yes, you heard me correct, guys. You heard me correctly. My first solicitation to go screen a movie in a theater, to watch the movie with other critics in an actual movie theater, and then review it. It's for Quiet Place 2. Which I am so excited. You guys, if you could have seen my face when I read this email, when the solicitation came in, if you could have seen my face, it was like, there are few things that have made me, I think, more sad than when pandemic started and we were all stuck at home, and all of my press contacts, all of the people that I spent years interacting with and communicating with and setting up press screenings with. A lot of those people got furloughed. A lot of those people no longer work for those companies. And the years and years of hard work to try to be able to get into those rooms early to review those movies was sort of erased. And so I didn't know if we were going to get theater screenings back. I wasn't really sure how that was going to work. And, I'd just started thinking about reaching out to people. And so to get the solicitation was just so exciting. I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful to be able to work with Paramount on that. And it's going to be so much fun. So I'll be reviewing that one the week it comes out, guys. And I'll be sure to tell you about my first experience back in a press theater. I'm sure I'll run into a lot of friends that I haven't seen in a long time. Just one more reason to be totally nervous about gaining weight during the pandemic. I'm just kidding. Anyway, guys, that was really exciting news, and it opens up a great conversation here that we can talk about. My guy, call sign Monty here. Did someone say Marvel? Oh, and you know what? This reminds me, Monty and I, you and I were going back and forth last week, Monty, and I appreciated your thoughtful response to my message. This last week, as you guys can imagine, has, with my mom here and everything, has just been a bit distracting. So it's been a little harder. So last week I was able to go through and I was able to message a lot of you guys that I want to check in with on a week-to-week basis. This week I was not able to. Hopefully next week I will be able to do that. I may start doing a bi-weekly check-in rather than a weekly check-in, just because there's a lot of you guys that I want to be able to check in on. And I really want to take my time and actually ask thoughtful questions. And as I try to do, as I think a lot of you guys know. So don't think if you didn't hear from me this week, it means anything other than the fact that, I'm doing my best to keep up both mentally and physically. So let's see here. Kelly said, so he used your money to buy a laptop instead of watching Tokyo Drift. Look, I'm going to watch Tokyo Drift before my next match. Before I film my next match, I'm going to watch Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. You have it. You have it from me. It's a promise. And that's where we're at. So, yeah, what else is going on? Marvel. That's what I was going to start talking about here. So we had this incredible trailer drop this morning. We had this incredible trailer drop this morning, this 3-minute tribute video Marvel put out there that was, announcing the new titles and release dates of a ton of Marvel movies, Marvel properties. So much cool footage, new footage that we hadn't seen a lot of. And of course, then teases for future projects like Fantastic Four. All right, look, Listrina, if you want to take this up in a non-live forum, we can take it up in a non-live forum. I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I let you down. I'm sorry I let you down, son. But they announced all these new things, and it looked really, really awesome. And I started tearing up watching it this morning. There's this moment in the thing where they for a second they cut to the fan reaction of Avengers Assemble, and it just made I just started crying. I was in bed. I had only just gotten up a little bit earlier. I was kind of slowly but surely getting moving, and it just made me realize just how much I love that stuff, how much I love Marvel, how much I love movies, how much I've missed this stuff, how excited I am for what's next. And then, of course, it ended with them saying, see you at the movies. And it was just like this. It was like this acknowledgement by Marvel of, yes, movie theaters are back. By this summer, you're going to be seeing our movies in movie theaters. Don't worry about it. That's what's happening. And I just like read it and thought about it. And it just made me feel like, the world we knew is coming back. It's not that far away. I just can't wait. There's going to be so much good stuff. Carly says, I know I tweeted this at you, but I also teared up, blaming the fact that I'm a hardcore teacher stressed. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, look, if a lot of you guys teared up watching that, it wouldn't surprise me. It was emotional. And I mean, so much of like what we love as movie fans, and I think most of us in here are pretty big movie fans, so much of what we love kind of got put on hold, and that was rough. That was really, really rough. So I'm just super, super happy that it's going to be back. And we're going to be back to reviewing movies again. There's like a lot of cool stuff coming out. There's Wrath of Man, this new Guy Ritchie movie that I don't know if that'll be any good. Maybe. I reached out about screening the new Taylor Sheridan movie. I reached out about this new Emilia Clarke movie about I can't even remember what it's called, but it's like the first. I can't think of what it is. Somebody can think of the name that I'm talking about. But all these movies, it's funny when you look them up. It says their release date is 2019, but then they're coming out in 2021. So it's kind of crazy that a lot of these movies that should have gotten released, probably they got pushed a little bit, are now finally going to be hitting theaters. So, what else? What else is happening that I wanted to talk to you guys about? So, we are going to be doing the Nerds and Suits one-on-ones coming up pretty soon here. We're now in May, of course, and June is when we're going to be doing them. For the month of June, I'm going to be doing those one-on-ones. So as a quick reminder for everybody here, the way those work is if you're at the diamond level here on patreon.com/nerdsandsuits, we'll schedule time. We'll schedule a 15-minute session. It's just a one-on-one. We can go over anything you want, as long as it's, career, personal obstacle. As long as, I'm not a therapist, so there are some things, if it's like there's some things I'm not going to be able to help you guys with. But I mean, within reason, and we had a total success on it last time. I'd love to go over stuff with you guys. And of course, if you're at the higher levels, the double diamond or the infinity level, I'll schedule a full 30 to go over stuff with you. So it's definitely something that I had a great time doing last time. It was wonderful to get to know a lot of you guys more. And I'll be putting up a spreadsheet next week to schedule times. So for next week's show, we'll have that up, and we can make sure to make some time to get everybody signed up for the month of June. Of course, it will only be available to patrons for the month of June. So, if you aren't this month, but you want to sign up, you're planning on, upgrading on the 1st or something like that, that's totally fine. So definitely looking forward to doing that again. And then we're also, in June, provided my health holds up, I will be announcing the official tour dates, the official tour locations for this tour to celebrate the release of my album, which I'm super, super hyped on. That should be really, really, really fun. And I think on the whole, definitely just like a lot of good things happening. Doing what I can every day to kind of maintain and try to keep my spirits high in light of obviously, some tough health stuff, but still just going to try to remain as optimistic as I possibly can and act accordingly. So we just got a Streamlab donation here from my girl Megs, call sign Quinn. We'll give you the hair tussle there, Megs. Excited for all the new opportunities. Awesome to hear your time spent developing yourself is paying off. Thanks, Megs. Yeah, look, guys, it's been a very, very interesting year for all of us. And I have gotten to spend a lot of time with you guys. I've really gotten to know a lot of you. And the crazier part is that I think a lot of you guys have gotten to know me through definitely one of the biggest transitional years of my life. I mean, this has been a crazy year. So much new stuff, so much exciting stuff, so many, new avenues, so many rocks, like we've looked under. So to speak, what am I looking for here? I've kind of done it with you guys. I feel like I've gotten to know you guys as I've also gotten to know myself a bit better this last year. And so that's definitely exciting, thinking about the way it's all going to feel when we get back out in the world and start seeing each other again. you know, in our personal lives, then also at social functions. You know, if I'm on tour, I'm sure I'll get to see a lot of you guys, and that'll be great. It's gonna be super, super fun. So this is kind of a fun one to talk about. Drew and I hung out last night, and we celebrated, you know, him getting that movie, and we ended up watching this movie Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, which if any of you guys have ever watched, it's a dark, dark, dark movie. It was Sidney Lumet's last movie. I saw it in theaters in 2007 with my dad and my brother, and the premise of the movie is basically that these two brothers, played by Philip Seymour Hoffman and Ethan Hawke, they decide to rob a jewelry store owned by their parents. Things go wrong. It's a total disaster. It's just a really, really grimy, dark drama. And everybody in the movie is awesome. I think it's streaming on Prime right now. It's called Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. If you haven't seen it, the movie is awesome. It's one of the best, like, just gritty crime movies I can remember ever watching. Yeah, it's definitely an intense movie. And it was great. It was great to watch a really good movie with Drew and hang out. That was really, really, really fun. So, yeah, guys, what the hell else was I going to talk to you about? Anything you guys want to hear about? Any more Schmodown stuff you guys want to hear about? Obviously, we've got, you know, midterms. We got, you know, Eric Zipper, Jonathan Harris coming up on Friday. Dan and I. It was announced that on, I think, June 4th, I'm playing Roca. That's my next singles match. So my next teams match, my next singles match. You know, the dungeon continues to roll along this season. You know, good things continue to happen for us, so that's exciting. Cam asks, time with my mom. Yeah, I mean, time with my mom was great. It was really, really, really nice to see my mom. You know, I don't get to see her that often, and she was really excited to come and hang out with me. While she was here, actually, the Paul Newman print showed up. This one here. And yeah, this showed up, and I hung this at the end of my hallway. It looks perfect. Honestly, could not be happier. It's one of the best. This is one of the best purchases I've made to add like something to my home since I've moved in. It looks so badass on the wall. It seriously feels perfect for the space. So I was really, really, really excited about that. And she was really excited about that as well. We got to hang out with a friend of hers this weekend that was really, really fun, actually. This is kind of a good fun story. So one of her friends who she went to college with turned out to be this big producer who does all kinds of really, really, really cool stuff. And her and her husband do a bunch of cool work, and they, you know, produce all kinds of big movies. And I've gotten to meet her a couple times, but this time she was here, we got to really spend some time together. I spoke to her with my mom there for maybe an hour, and she was telling me great stories. And you know, she produced like huge movies. I mean, she produced Gladiator, and she produced Great Gatsby, and like just like enormous stuff. And it was just wild getting to talk to her and hear all these stories about all these famous directors and actors that I've been such a fan of, and personal anecdotes. And that was really, really fun. That was another thing I think over the weekend that really reminded me of just like sort of how much I like that part of the industry and talking shop. How much I love doing that stuff, getting to hear those stories and getting to talk to movie enthusiasts who also love the industry. And it's weird, right? Schmodown has reflected this version of trivia, which is like, how much stuff can you memorize? You know, and that's, you win that way. But where like Schmodown really started, and like the place that it like, you know, really got like where I got into it, and I think where a lot of people did, is that we were all movie fans. We're enthusiasts. I like to know that stuff about movies. That's the shit that I've always loved. I love hearing the stories. I love watching the movies. I love knowing where directors were in their career. Those conversations are the things that are the most fun about being a fan. And so getting to talk to her and like hearing her tell me stories about Russell Crowe, or hearing her tell me stories about DiCaprio or Tom Hardy, or like, you know, she was telling me stories about, you know, both Ridley Scott. And I was like, well, did you know Tony? And she was like, well, very close to Tony Scott. She started telling me stories about Tony Scott. It's just like meeting somebody who has been so intimately involved in the industry for such a long time. Really, really, really cool. That was a great time. That was one of those things that it really did remind me of how excited I am to be back in the space again, getting ready to talk about movies and getting ready to interview people. And yeah, so it looks like we have a special appearance here from another Schmodown pro, Peggy Gubbins, here hanging out in the chat. Nice to see you, Peggy. Honored to sort of sort of share a game day with Danger Zone, Sir Peggy. Thank you for saying so. I'm excited for you and what you've been doing in your Schmodown career. Can't wait to see how you fare, and best of luck. I hope you're wishing us the best of luck as well. Carly here says, honestly, just hearing you talk about all this cool stuff going on in your life and seeing you get all excited warms my heart. Just sending you love. Thanks, Carly. I appreciate it. It is hilarious, guys, that where you vibrate, the frequency you're on, kind of the way you feel about yourself, the way you feel about the world. It's so hard to predict, because if we're just being honest, there would definitely be times in my life when I would have the kind of health issues I'm having, and feeling physically about myself the way I do. That would really bum me out. Like, that would take a lot of the wind out of my sails. But the truth is, I'm pretty happy right now. I feel pretty excited. Like last September, guys, I was so fucking depressed. I was so unhappy. It was ridiculous. Like, absolutely ridiculous. My depression was so bad. And things are terribly hard right now. I mean, horrible. I'm in so much pain all the time. Oh my God. I'm thinking about, this meeting tomorrow, and just like, oh man, like, I just have like a month to get ready, because like I just don't feel great. But on the other hand, who cares? Like why focus on any of that negative shit? This is what I was telling you guys 3 weeks ago about this. Like, you literally have to just think about the fact that this is who I am today. This is who I am right now. No one's going to save me. No one's going to hold my hand. No one's going to pull me up. It's up to me. I've got to harness this shit. I've got to harness the good energy. When I walk in this room tomorrow, I've got to bring good energy with me. If I don't bring it, no one else is going to bring it. Like, that's the only way to do it. So I'm genuinely feeling pretty happy. I'm feeling pretty excited, pretty kind of passionate about the things I'm involved in right now. And I appreciate you saying so, Carly, because, it's not always easy to be happy. It is not always easy to be excited, to have good energy. I'm really, really fortunate to have this group to come and hang out with on Mondays. I definitely feel really, really good about that. It makes my life better to be able to hang out with you guys. Wow, Peggy Gubbins popping off in the chat. Let's see what Peggy's got to say here. She's saying, smack, Alan Smithy, smack talk to me is like a size 9 shoe. I can force it if need be, but I'm definitely not comfortable with it. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Sometimes you get better, you learn certain things. I guess smack talk came sort of naturally to me in the beginning, but then I also, just like you're saying, Peggy, there was a period of time in the middle of my Schmodown career when I had to try to be a little nicer and still keep an edge, and I didn't like that. I was not very comfortable doing that. So you got to find what works for you. That's just the truth. All right, let's see here. What else we got going on? I think I saw a couple other Streamlabs just come in. Oh yeah, look at this. We have 2 more. Oh man, I know what's going here. Call sign #ladies night. Give you the hair tussle, Lustrina. Because I don't turn my back on family, I will give you some refreshments money for when you finally watch Tokyo Drift. I'll even let you pick out something unhealthy. Says Lustrina here with the Streamlabs donation. My friend, I appreciate it. I appreciate you never turning your back on family. I will watch Tokyo Drift. I think it's the only one I've never seen, right? Have I not seen Too Fast, Too Furious? I've definitely seen all the rest. I've seen the first one a couple times. I saw Fast and Furious and Fast 5 in theaters. I saw Fast 6 a couple years after it came out. Fast 7 in theaters for sure. Interviewed some of the cast on that one. Saw Fate of the Furious in theaters. Saw Hobbs and Shaw in theaters, or screened it probably. I probably screened it. I can't remember if I ever saw 2, and I know I didn't see 3. So maybe here with the $10 donation, Lustrina, maybe I'll rent both. Maybe I'll rent them both and just do the double feature 2 and 3 to make sure I'm ready. Kaylee Vaughn here, also with the Streamlabs donation. I've been busy with work, so I've missed a lot of streams lately. Your song has been a great addition to my commuter playlist. Super excited for tour date announcement. Kaylee, thank you. I'm really excited to announce it as well. Excited to get the next song out there as well. Definitely excited to get the next one out there. I'm feeling really good about Late Night Love Song. I think it's going to be well received. So yeah, there's good stuff coming on the horizon real soon. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So we talked about the study session. We talked about one-on-ones. We talked about Danger Zone versus midterms. Talked a little bit about music. New song I'm writing. The tour dates a bit we talked about. I got pretty far into the goal to bring back Great Conversation and to resurrect Song from the Scene. the show kind of took hold that week, that month, and I got a little bit behind on it. And now, rather than make any larger proclamations about what I want to do, I have to just try to get some backlogged catalog, because it's hard to find the time and the energy for everything at the moment, especially when I have to kind of lie down between things so often. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we're able to kind of cross this bridge and get to a place where, it's not as distracting to be in this kind of pain. But it is what it is. Like I said, it's funny. I told my mom yesterday before she left, I was like, it sucks. This is going to be this thing. I'm going to be dealing with this pain for a little while right now. And I really don't want to become someone who's defined by talking about it. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, I've known so many people in my life who have a lot of physical pain, or they have like a disability or something like that. And they spend a lot of time and energy talking about it, which I understand it's very hard not to when you're in the kind of pain like that I'm in, or if you do have a physical disability, it's very hard to feel anything other than the fact that like you would be doing it like the way everyone else is, except that, or it's like, if you're in pain, it's just really hard. It's on your mind all the time. But what I told her is like, I really just don't want to be somebody who, even if it is just for this period of time, so much of my life and my energy is defined by it. But the hardest thing is when it is on your mind all the time and you feel like it affects your ability to do things the way that you want to do them, it's very difficult not to talk about. And I was noticing that, thinking about it tonight, because I literally came into the stream thinking like, I don't want to talk about this injury at all. I don't want to talk about what's going on with it. I literally just wanted, and then it's like, for two reasons, I think it didn't happen. Number one, like it's totally consuming. And then number two, it is a lot of my life at the moment. And so much of this stream is just kind of talking to you guys about my life at the moment. So we've got I guess now that we're just going, full circle on that one, like just to give you guys the update. So we've got this other MRI upcoming. I saw a chiropractor for the first time. I've got physical therapy appointments booked with multiple physical therapists to try different stuff out. And this is all in the course of the next 10 days. So doing everything we can right now to try to get it figured out. I will keep you guys updated. But in the meantime, I guess I'll have to kind of evaluate how I'm going to handle it and how often that I want to talk about it, because I don't want that to be the thing that comes up all the time. And as this stream tonight has obviously been evidence of, it seems to be sort of hard to avoid. So, guys, I think I might call it a few minutes early tonight. Normally I'm 6 to 7, and then I end up jumping over and doing the Magic stream at 7:30. But because I started at 6:30, the Magic stream is going to start like as soon as this is over. So I guess the things to shout out for you guys here real quick before we get out of here. Number one, just a huge thank you to each and every one of you guys that has continued to support what I'm doing here on Nerds in Suits. There should be really, really exciting stuff coming down the pipeline pretty soon. I mean, there always is. Recently there always is a lot of exciting stuff going on. And, hopefully I have good news to share with you guys after I take this meeting tomorrow. That could be a lot of fun. As far as other projects that I'm bringing on here and stuff that I'm bringing to the channel, I'm certainly trying to, bring more of that stuff. For all the patrons that are supporting at all the different levels, we had a bunch of new people kind of join the crew during the time of the show. I'm so thankful and so grateful to have you guys here. I'm really, really looking forward to doing these one-on-ones next month. And of course, if you guys are at that platinum and above level, come hang out with us on Wednesday. I think we actually might have a special guest on Wednesday in the study session. One of my faction mates is a guy named Chris Van Vliet. And Chris he's like a 4-time Emmy-nominated, Emmy-winning host, maybe. I think he might have won 4 Emmys. Van Vliet has a wrestling channel. Awesome dude, great guy. One of my favorite people I've gotten to meet in the space. And Chris and I were talking a bit earlier just about kind of starting to try to get him up to speed for when he does, in fact, get a match scheduled. And so I think Chris might actually jump in with us Wednesday and just hang out for a bit, just to play along a little bit, kind of see how he holds his own. And I don't even know if it's necessarily to play along with us as much as it's just to see how the questions are formulated. You guys do such an incredible job writing the questions for the Wednesday sessions that I think having Chris in there, it might be just really fun for him to be able to kind of get a little bit more of a feel with the way that it all works. So if you guys are members of the Nerds in Suits Patreon and you guys want to jump in, it'll be super fun hanging out with Van Vliet. I think you'll like him a lot. He's a guy that brings a lot of great energy. So otherwise, guys, I think I'm going to get out of here. Let me just make sure I didn't miss any Streamlabs. And I also, because I do try to shout out every single Patreon sign up or upgrade. We just make sure I didn't miss any or either. I never want to exclude anybody. And oh yeah, last thing before we do get out of here, guys, is that so many of you are so vocal and wonderful and supportive and send me messages on various different platforms. Some of you just kind of checking in on my life and, you know, just being friendly and great. And just a big thank you to you guys. You know, it for all the positivity and the good energy. Shit right now is just it's a struggle. I mean, it is. There's no doubt about it. And having your guys' support is awesome. It really does make it easier, make my life better. So just a big hair tussle to you guys. Hopefully I bring great energy into the room, and I have great news for you guys when I talk to you next. And yeah, otherwise, guys, nothing but love, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, guys. Hey, thanks, Stephen Weston. I didn't get to say hi to you, man. Thanks for being here. All right, guys, I think I am officially going to get out of here and, you know, do the thing, play the Magic. If you guys like watching Magic, I'll be doing that over on the Kes Wiley Twitch.tv. And otherwise, take care. Bye, everybody.